Welcome. This is the second part of embedding information into the description layout. For our final step, following the Kappa form example, we will embed pre-existing filters into our layout by clicking the pencil again. I've created large cells in order to contain the filters. We always recommend filters to be in their own cell and a large cell that has 100% width, since there's no way to predefine how big and how much data will be in a filter, depending on how many action items you have or how many traceability items and so on. For this example, we're going to embed two filters, one to include the preventative actions and one to show all the corrective actions of the Kappa form. Both preventative actions and corrective actions are children of the original Kappa form, and in the hierarchy they will be held under the original form as children in the layout. So when being in the cell, I can choose Embed Filter this time. When choosing Embed Filter, I first need to choose where I'm pulling this information from. So what project contains the information I want to present? In this case, it's part of the quality management electronic form. And what is the work item I want to show? So it is very important not to get confused. I'm showing information in the Kappa form. However, the data I want to present is of preventative actions. So preventative action, and the filter that will show me is going to be an embed filter. This is another pro tip. In order to easily create filters and keep track of them, when creating a filter specifically for description layout, always give them the prefix embed filter. That way, by typing embed filter into the list of your filters, you'll be able to easily find the correct filters that will work with the right functionality for embedding into the description. In this case, I want to embed a filter for all the children of this work item. So this work item children. This will show me information of all the preventative actions that are under this Kappa form. By clicking save, I've now created the filter. We're going to do a similar action for the corrective actions. Embed filter. In this case, instead of Kappa, I will type corrective action. You can see in this example that it's possible to use the same filter a few times in the same description if I'm presenting information for different work items. So this is going to be, again, an embed filter. This work item children, and save. I'm going to save. Now it's important to know that when you embed filters, if there's no data that the filter can find within the project that you defined it, it will return an empty result. An empty result will show no items found where the information is. So no preventative actions were found and no corrective actions were found. In this case, we haven't added them yet into our test item. So in order to fully test a filter, you need to make sure that you have at least one example for each filter. I'm going to now add under my test item a test corrective action. And a test preventative action. Calling them slightly different just so that I can tell the difference when reviewing my layout. Going back to my Kappa test item, I can now see that under preventative actions, I have my PA preventative action with the test layout name and its status, and all corrective actions with the key and name and status. So I can be confident that the embedded filters are working properly. Of course, the columns of every embedded filter are set up in the filter itself under work items. For more information on that, go to the lecture for creating filters under the user course. And remember to always test your fields and your filters. The best practice in order to review your final description layout is to create a real example and fill real information from a form that you already have written out. That way you can really test from A to Z all the different functions you've created. Once the description layout is complete, you'll be able to set it as a template either in ALM templates or on the project level for this item. This is described in a specific lecture on creating templates on project level or ALM templates lecture. Thank you for listening.